Remember to start a timer this time. This is 13UQ Vlog. The date is July 30th, 2017. And in case you're new to this channel, which there's a great deal of new people here, this is a vlog series. This is like what Boogie calls a rambling series. This is not a sketch. This is not, me directing attention. In a lot of ways, it's similar to my YouTube, sort of what do I do on YouTube, but this is where I just talk about my month and what I'd like to do in the upcoming month and sort of reflect on the month. So if I'm gonna try to put like one of those cards, which if I point here means it'll be over here, I'm gonna put one of those cards to direct you to a Nintendo related video. I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna direct you to a Nintendo related video here so that if this is not what's interesting to you, hopefully that'll be more interesting. But either way, thanks for joining me. I know I'm talking more than just to me, even though most of the time the purpose of my vlogs were to just talk to me. So if it's interesting to you, I might as well include you, since as of today there's just over 90 of you, some of which have gotten to interact with me recently, and that's been a real joy. I think a totally different layer of YouTube that I was never planning on. I mean, I would have never made a single video public if I had never not hoped that somebody would watch it. I mean, I've done radio, I was in plays and stuff. I was on recorded stuff, but I was never on TV. Actually, one time they stuck a television camera in my face and I was working and I was really upset. And I think I kept saying to them, I'm not clearing you to use this. I'm not clearing you to use this. So I don't think they did. I think they had to edit that part out. So typically I'm not a big fan of the camera, except that I'm a ham. I mean, I am your stereotypical multiple personality. I have the best parts of ADD and I always say this too, and now I can't think of it. Wow. Okay, and these are unedited, so I don't edit on my things. I've already been yapping for 2.5 minutes here, and I didn't even get into what do I want this vlog to be about. Well, the first thing I want to say is welcome. Welcome to all of you who subscribed. I know that a lot of you come for a lot of different reasons, but it seems to be that the predominant reason that most of you came was you liked the Wii U video. And yes, according to one of my fellow YouTubers, I am probably one of YouTube's biggest Wii U apologists, which basically, an apologist is not apologizing, but an apologist is trying to explain the benefits of, like sort of arguing in favor of. And I really do think that by and large, if I predominantly get to talk about Wii U and Nintendo topics, that's okay with me. As you can see, more recently, I've been trying to get to the live streams, and currently I do not have a capture card, although I did add a donate feature to my page, but I don't think I made it public, and I don't think I'm ready to do that public yet until I can be sure that it's not going to be a waste of time. So that's not what I want to talk about either. Currently, let's see. I mean, there's some things that I'm not a big fan of. Like, one of the things I'm not a big fan of personally is when people go on Facebook and start telling you all their problems. Like, I'm old enough to remember MySpace, when MySpace was the Facebook, and before Twitter and before the internet even. But one of the things I know is that Facebook is sort of like everybody's highlight reel. And in a lot of ways, YouTube can be that too. I want it to be my highlight reel. I want it to be, what are the lessons I've learned from the things that have happened that are difficult in my life? I'm a big fan of podcasts. I'm a big fan of the reality that goes into making YouTube videos. That's why I talked about H3 podcast in that last thing. But I'm a big fan of reality, but from a eternal optimist standpoint. Like how you see through the hardships that you go through in your life and how we all get to a better place because of the uniqueness we bring, but also the fact that most struggles have a silver lining if you stick around long enough. So what do I want to talk about? Well, without getting into too many specifics, as a caregiver who works with veterans, senior veterans, whenever you work with seniors, they only need a caregiver if they're sick, or they only need a caregiver if they can't take care of themselves anymore. So you're sort of thrust into a situation where you have to help them, and it takes a certain kind of person to do it, but it's a good job. But you become close to people, and I remember a long time ago somebody giving the false wisdom of, you really shouldn't get too close to your patients. Try being a good caregiver that doesn't get close to your clients, because it's just not going to happen. Either you're not going to be a very good caregiver and you should probably do something else, or a babysitter even. If you don't care about the kids that you're watching, you're not a very good babysitter. You should care. And if God forbid something was to happen to one of those kids, it's going to affect you. But I think I may have mentioned it in one of my other videos, and I'm not going to drag this through the mud, and because this is not therapy. You guys subscribe to me, and this is mostly for me. So I'm just reflecting on the fact that a whirlwind sort of ripped through my life, and it does to all of us. And even though we do our best to prepare for it, we can never prepare for the ass kicking that is right around the blind alley we're walking. But we can do our best to come out through the ass kicking and get the hell back up and keep going. Because the only other option is to stay the hell down. And that doesn't do anybody any good. There's somebody out there that needs to hear you. I realized more recently that one of the things that I like the most about making public videos is saying something or interacting with somebody, going back and forth. There was somebody on my Wii U video that plays video games and was real appreciative, and he shared with me that he's dealing with a pretty serious illness. And he wasn't looking for sympathy. He was just like, man, just game on. Nobody's going to tell me I can't game, and I love my Wii U. That's what I want to be. I want to be the caregiver to you guys on YouTube too. How can I help you with my entertainment purposes, but also how can I make you laugh, but also still say, you know what, we're all on the same team here. Even Jake Paul, even the people like that may rip YouTube in all kinds of new directions. It may bring on an entirely crazy audience, but it's an audience. And it's an audience that, if they stick around, they'll realize that just like somebody that's been around as long as Boogie will say, that a lot of good people still exist. And because a lot of good people are out there, they need people like you. And it's every single thumbs up and comment that you do, and even constructive criticism. Like, I'm really glad that so many of you aren't afraid to be like, yo, the lighting in this video is fucking dog shit. Because I know, like, I'm working on it. I'm working on getting some equipment, but I can't do it now because my client is no longer with us, and I'm still looking for more full-time work as of the present. But it was the most amazing experience of my life, and taking the pause came at an opportune time for me to sort of reinvest what it is I want the next decade of my life to be. And I guess the real question that I pose to anybody watching this far is, what do you expect? What do you expect to get out of your subscription? Because I watched a video recently, and there's a lot of drama on YouTube. There's so much drama out there. But I watched a video recently from somebody whose content I've always loved since I've been here. And that's Angry Joe. And I know that there's a lot of stuff that I don't even need to get into, because if you watch YouTube, you've heard of it, and if you don't, If you haven't heard of it, you probably don't care. But I mean, I know that I don't want to create any false expectations for anybody that subs, because I think that most of the people that sub just sub because they like that one video, or maybe they found 2 or 3 videos they like. I don't know if the vlogs are really for a wide audience, but I know that there's a few individuals that seem to like it enough and care enough to listen to what's going on with me. And like I said, one of the things that you don't know about me is that I would pretty much bend over backwards for a friend. I had said to Dominic, and actually recently, accidentally a video of mine, I deleted a video of mine because of the way it was laid out. It said it had no views, but then the video that ended up disappearing ended up being my live stream. It was 2 hours and was a great deal of fun, and I brought up a lot of really good topics. So I got to do my best to try to keep this under 20 minutes. So anyway, I don't remember what I was talking about. But what I was saying to him is, I don't remember. I have to move on from that because I don't remember. See, I'm trying to be conscious of the time and not talk too much about too many different things in one vlog. But it's a whole month, and what do I want the upcoming months to be? Well, I'm putting applications out there just about everywhere, and I want to continue caregiving, and I want to continue teaching, and I think I want to move back into kids for now, or at least some special need element, and maybe do a little bit less physical because my back is still recovering from taking care of that man. So what do you expect from me? Well, I mean, I think that inevitably expectations, if you make expectations of human beings, most people eventually let you down. And I think that if you subscribe to a Wii U video, I know that you subscribed knowing that the camera quality was not ideal, and maybe you expected to see more Wii U related videos and a buying guide, and I worked on a few of that stuff, and I've got pages and pages of notes to go through of videos that I'd like to make. And even now that I have more time to sort of throw into it, it's trying to get all the skits written out and all the short vids, the long vids, just the vids out there. And that's what I was saying. I deleted a video because of the way it was laid out, and I think there may be a way to get it back. But in case it never comes back, the interaction that I have with you guys makes these videos worth it to me 10 times over. Because what you don't know about me is how much I need interaction in my life. I don't like to be a recluse. I mean, I spend a lot of time alone, but I'd rather be in the company of at least 2 or 3 really, really interesting and sort of common interest, but also diverse. Oh, that's what I was saying to Dominic, and maybe that was what I was talking about. So I said, you don't really know a friend until you fight them. I think that's from one of the Matrix. But like, I'm the kind of guy that can disagree with you and yet not rip you to shreds, because most of the time I'm the one who needs to be corrected, and I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. And I think that that's going to help you a lot in your life if you're listening. So don't be afraid to have a really strong opinion if it differs from everybody else's opinion. Don't be afraid to defend it. But also, don't defend it from a place of I'm right, you're wrong, and I'm going to tell you all the reasons why. If you approach your opinion of, please tell me where I may be going off track, but also don't freaking expect that you're right. Like, you could be wrong. And that's part of the reason why people interact so hostilely on the internet, is because you're sort of throwing it out into the darkness, and you just want to take a shot at somebody for some inexplicable reason. Most of the time it's a lot of things, but it's typically not personal. I mean, they can be very personal attacks, like, dude, you're bald. Dude, your beard looks like shit. Dude, you didn't shave. You're fat, man. You got man boobs. You got whatever. You got 2 different color arms. You're a white boy. You're whatever. I don't like your crucifix. I don't like your Bible. Blah, 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 blah. I hate your accent. People are going to come at you with all kinds of so-called personal things, but they don't know you from any other motherfucker out there. So don't waste your time taking it personal. And you can laugh at it, in a lot of ways it's funny. It's funny. If you can laugh at yourself, nobody can hurt you. If you can watch your own video and you could laugh yourself to tears at how ridiculous you are, nobody's going to hurt you. Because if you approach your own video making with, I don't care, man, I hope I make an ass of myself and it really genuinely makes milk come out of their nose. They're laughing so hard, you know. And if they don't think it's funny and they tell you repeatedly, whatever, I thought it was funny. Like, if you go back and watch your videos and you laugh at yourself, you win. Because you should be the critical eye enough, and any creator of any single video will know, you will rip yourself to shreds worse than any troll out there on the internet. They may hurt you real bad, but not as bad as when you look at it and you think, God, that camera was in the worst spot, and oh my God, look at my face, or oh, I had something in my beard, or whatever. You know, or I got a booger, or oh my God, you seriously picked your nose on camera? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? You know, all that shit. But I mean, even if it's just I stumbled over it, or I said or whatever too many times, you know, you'll pick yourself apart. But if you can find one little nugget that you can sort of edit out later, or even if it's just raw, and you say, you know what, I like what I said there. And maybe in a 10-minute video I said 1 minute of good stuff, it's worth throwing it up there for that 1 minute of good stuff, because then I can go back and look at it. And if somebody comments positively on that, they may not be endorsing what you think or how you act, or what you believe about that particular subject, but sometimes really good things come out of that. So I encourage everybody, if you're okay with making fun of yourself, but not in a way that's mean to yourself, because nobody can beat you down like you can too. I mean, this negative voice that I hear in my head all day long, I'm surprised I ever do anything, because that negative self-talk will keep me so many times from ever pressing record or send or whatever. It's already been 17 minutes. So in the remaining 2 minutes, what can I say? August is going to be a very interesting month. It's been hot as hell here. But it's been hot, and then it's cold, and then it's thundering. I got woken up at 6 o'clock this morning to a thunder, and it scared the hell out of me. But it was pouring when I went to bed last night. But I don't know. You know, sometimes it's kind of nice to go to bed when it's raining. But there's been some tornado warnings. But I don't know. I don't think we're in a highly dangerous area for tornadoes. So I like keywords. And in a vlog where I'm talking about August and my past failures, what would be the synopsis of this video? Say something about turn the camera on. If you've ever considered, if you as a watcher have ever considered turning the camera on and then you've talked yourself out of it, tell me that story. And maybe my words in here may have mildly encouraged you to take a shot. To take a shot and just say, you know what, I've always wanted to make videos, maybe I should. So turn the camera on. That'll be the key phrase. It's not a word. Just say something about the camera, okay? Your camera sucks, your lighting sucks. 19 minutes. I cut it in right around 20. So again, thanks for watching. I'm going to say that I'd really like to do these more than once a month, because there's so much more I didn't even talk about. And I'd like to talk about relationships next time, but not from a personal standpoint, because I think that there is no greater love than to lay down your life for your friends. And if you've subscribed to me and stuck around for more than a week, we've got some kind of bond. If you've ever thumbs up or even thumbs down a video and stuck around still, like maybe the next one will be better and I'm not going to unsubscribe, then we got a bond forming. And just, you know, I'm willing to make a complete fool of myself as long as there's something that can make you laugh as well, and it's not at the complete expense of my health and well-being. All right, that's so 20 minutes. That's not a bad vlog. August 31st. That'll be the next one, I guess. I don't know. Maybe before that. Thanks for watching. Remember